18 with the 3 o'clock news. I'm Michaela Kamarek.
Win your slice of paradise at Henley Beach, worth $4 million with the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery.
The countdown is on to tomorrow's federal election. The Prime Minister and Labor leader are blitzing marginal seats across the country, making a last-minute pitch to voters. Julia Gillard has made a rare campaign appearance in Adelaide alongside opposition leader Anthony Albanese. She served as PM and Labor leader from 2010 to 2013. Ms Gillard says she has great confidence in Mr Albanese.
What I want to see for this country is a government that cares about, values and includes women. And I know that a government led by Albo will do precisely that. So for Australian women, please vote Labor.
The Prime Minister is predicting a close election as he continues to campaign in Perth. Mr Morrison says it's possible Australians will not know who has won tomorrow night.
Elections in Australia are always close. It's very rare that you get big changes. That happens occasionally. But in my experience, elections are always very close, and Australians weigh up their decision very, very carefully. Now, how they voted, we'll see tomorrow night and perhaps potentially in the days that follow.
And you can catch full election coverage on 5AA with Matthew Pantelis from 10 tomorrow night, as well as updates throughout the Adelaide-St Kilda clash earlier in the evening. Actor Craig McLachlan has formally dropped his defamation case against 2 media organisations. Court reporter Josh Bryant has more.
The 56-year-old initially launched the legal action against the Sydney Morning Herald, ABC and an actress over stories containing allegations of indecent assault and sexual harassment during the 2014 production of The Rocky Horror Show. An application was made to end the proceedings just as the defence was due to open its case. The actor has been ordered to pay costs, which are expected to total more than $1 million. McLachlan has released a statement saying he made the decision due to the strain the case was putting on him and his family.
A man will face court after allegedly breaking into an Elizabethvale home on the weekend. The intruder was stabbed by the homeowner and taken to hospital in a serious condition. Police have now been able to question the 20-year-old Queensland man, and he's been reported for criminal trespass. 4 COVID deaths have been reported in SA today, 2 women and 2 men aged in their 60s to 90s. There's been a dip in daily case numbers with 3,901 new infections in the past 24 hours. 218 people are in hospital, 13 in ICU. And we're being assured the first cases of monkeypox in Australia shouldn't be cause for major concern. The virus mostly spreads through skin-to-skin contact, but can also spread through droplets. A man in Victoria has been confirmed as the country's first case. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
For Gold Service Audiology, book your free consult today at connecthearing.com.au.
Crows players have trained at Adelaide Oval this morning as they prepare for tomorrow night's clash against St Kilda. They welcome back Riley Thilthorpe and Lockie Murphy. Meantime, the Power will head to Geelong with Charlie Dixon being left behind to play with the Magpies on Sunday against West. Round 10 gets underway tonight with Sydney and Carlton at Marvel Stadium. Meanwhile, the AFL Grand Final will remain in its traditional afternoon slot. Dennis O'Kane has the details.
The AFL is sticking with people power, deciding to keep the Grand Final start time at 2:30. There was heavy speculation the league would agree to a twilight time slot after the Grand Final was moved first to Brisbane in 2020 and a night game, and then last year in Perth for a twilight clash. AFL boss Gillon McLachlan says the decision to keep the Grand Final in the afternoon acknowledges after 2 really challenging years, fans yearn for a return to footy rituals and routines that set the rhythms of our lives. He says a 2:30 start will see the focus getting back to football and going to the football as we've always known it.
And Rafael Nadal will begin his French Open campaign against Australian Jordan Thompson. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Glenelg, smash on Brighton Road near Jetty Road. Edwardstown, slow going with road plates in use on South Road near Dunallen Avenue. Mount George, works are causing delays for outbound. That's on the freeway near Kerry Gully Road. Busy at the moment, Cross Road, Winston Avenue to South Road. And look out for cameras today, Ashwin Parade, Torrensville and Commercial Road at Seaford Meadows. What's better than getting a mouth-watering Krispy Kreme original glazed donut? Getting 4 of them. For a limited time only, get the $10 4-pack for just $8 at OTR stores. Adelaide's most accurate traffic. on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Mostly sunny this afternoon, 18, sunny tomorrow 20, Sunday sunny 21 and Monday mostly sunny 21. Right now it's 16 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
The federal election countdown. Our full analysis of the parties and their policies just hours out from polling day. An Adelaide triple killers bid for freedom. Health alert. Probable cases of monkeypox emerge in Australia. The advice from our health authorities. And who won the $80 million Powerball? I'm Brenton Raglis. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
$13.95, Adelaide's 5AA. This is Jade Robran. The 5AA Food and Wine Show with Chris Jarma from Jarma's Kitchen. Thanks to SMEG.
And it's a good afternoon and also a happy birthday to Chris Jarma. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jade. How are you?
Really good. 8. You've turned 8.
Yes.
You look good for 8.
I'm 8, yeah. No, Jarma's Kitchen turns 8 this week, so it would be fitting that we do a traditional Viennese veal schnitzel
Yum.
for today's recipe.
My favourite.
Accompanied with a traditional cucumber salad and a traditional potato salad.
So your mum's Hungarian, your dad is Austrian.
Yes.
So how many times a week would you have this meal?
Oh, normally family night would be like a Monday night. Oh, since I left home, or yeah, so at least once or twice a week. Yeah, when we were growing up as kids. But my kids, Tommy and Charlotte, they love schnitzel night.
Oh, there is nothing better. And also, like you're going to cook it, really thin, like paper thin.
Yes, a traditional schnitzel is very thin, and I use a veal backstrap. Sorry.
Yes.
It is getting harder and harder to find veal. I mean, even in the veal we get in Australia is not even as white as the veal you get in Europe. So you can use a round steak, the eye of round.
Yes.
Which Linda's from an Italian background, and they call that girello. So if you ask the butcher for some eye of round steak, that can be used for a thin traditional veal schnitzel, or the Italians call it a cotoletta.
I have actually tried this week to find it, funnily enough. Why is it harder to find?
It's just, I don't know, they don't, I think they let the cows become beef rather than veal.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it's
I mean,
awful
we
to
get
speak
more
about.
yearling than we do veal, I suppose. But in Europe, if you ever buy veal over there, it almost looks like pork. It's
Yeah.
very light.
Yum. Okay. Well, let's kick things off with it's all about the crumbs.
Yes. So for a traditional schnitzel, you want a fine crumb. So you need to set up a crumbing station. So you need flour, egg wash, which is just eggs and milk.
Yep.
And then the fine breadcrumbs.
Okie doke. And with the breadcrumbs, we're just talking about the traditional ones.
Yeah,
We're not
I think
getting
in the
fancy with this,
supermarket,
are we?
tip-top breadcrumbs
Yeah,
are the
nice.
best. And look, schnitzel in Australia has evolved into all sorts of different things, and there's the palmies, and we do the crazy palmies at the restaurant as well. We do a brisket palmy.
Yum.
We do a meatball palmy.
What's on that?
So it just has 2 veal meatballs on top, and then the cheese and the parmesan and the mozzarella and the Napolitana sauce.
Sign me up for that.
But today we're going traditional Viennese style, and so I brought a piece. So you need to pound the meat so it's about half a centimetre thick.
Yep.
So if you ask your butcher to cut some medallions of the backstrap if you can get it, or even of the eye of the round steak, and then when you get home you can bang them out, or you can ask them to bang them out just between a piece of go-between till they're nice and thin.
Sure. And then it's all about the oil then, isn't it? Because you want an oil that gets to quite a high heat.
Yeah, so we use a canola oil, or you can use a vegetable oil. Traditionally, they're fried in a frying pan. So put about 3 centimetres of oil in a frying pan, get it almost till it's got to be about 180 degrees if you've got a thermometer, or just before it starts to smoke. And then if you dip the schnitzel once it's crumbed into the oil, and if it starts to bubble straight away, you know the oil's ready. And then carefully shake the pan, and that will put a bit of oil on top, over the top of the schnitzel, and just gently shake the pan, and then a freshly crumbed schnitzel will start to bubble up and sort of separate a little bit from the meat. and then turn it over, shake it again, and then put it on some paper.
I think that chair needs a bit of WD-40, doesn't
it's
it?
squeaky, this one. But now, so what makes this different as well is the traditional Austrian potato salad. Unlike, I suppose, an Australian type potato salad, we don't put any mayonnaise in there.
Why? Oh, okay.
So,
I've learnt something.
It's just Desiree potatoes, a waxy potato, or a Kipfler potato is very good.
Yes.
Sprinkle the salt and pepper. So boil the potatoes, I think we've talked about this before, cold water to start with, till they're nice and tender. Then let them cool down, peel them, and cut them up.
Do you put them in the cold water afterwards to stop the boiling process? You don't have to do that with them.
Just straight drain the water off. If you sort of stop them cooking just when they're finished cooking, and then they'll continue to cook through a little bit till they're nice and tender.
And it seems that it's a bit fancy at the moment to keep skins on. Do you do that? Not for probably the
Not for
traditional
this one. But yeah, I've done the chat potato salad with the mayonnaise and the bacon.
Yeah,
This is
nice.
more of a traditional. So then I've just got some chives and parsley.
Yep.
And then the dressing is simply olive oil or vegetable oil, salt, pepper, and some white vinegar. And
Delish.
for the potato salad, a tablespoon of mustard as well.
Okay. No, I can see why you wouldn't put the mayo in then. That looks delicious.
So we just pour that over the top, and then gently. You can even. We have had this before warm. In some places in Austria, they'll serve this potato salad warm. So you'll cut the potatoes while they're warm and put the dressing over, and it'll be a warm salad. So
That's how I've always had it when I've had the traditional schnitty.
Yeah, so it works warm as well. And then the other, I suppose this is probably more the Hungarian side of the family, the cucumber salad. So it's
Nice.
very thin cucumbers.
Okay. And I know you're getting quite excited about chopping this cucumber. So if you are watching on our live stream, watch this. We will see some knife skills come out now.
I remember as a young chef that one of the things you wanted to always master was how fast you could cut up a cucumber.
I want to look away because I don't want any blood.
This should be interesting. Trying to.
Oh. Okay, so his fingers are right on where this blade is. I feel like I shouldn't even talk because it'll put you off.
So I'm trying to. So
Don't talk, just
my
cut.
knuckle is up against the blade, so
I can see it.
I know where the blade is at the whole time, and there we go.
And every single piece of cucumber would be millimetre perfect.
Yeah. So look, you don't have to cut it by hand. You can use a mandolin. Everyone's got a but sometimes mandolins can be even more dangerous than a knife. I've seen people take tops off of their fingers.
Well, that's true because you're concentrating so much on the cucumber, you forget to take your hands out of the way.
So again, this one's very simple. It's just
So the
parsley,
chives again.
some salt,
Ooh, that
and
smells nice
pepper.
and fresh.
And I've got a little bit of sugar in this dressing. Again, it's olive oil or vegetable oil with white vinegar. No mustard in this one. And a touch of sugar.
What does the sugar do?
Just gives it a little bit of sweetness, sort of balances out the dressing.
Okay.
I suppose with the mustard in the potato salad,
So it balances.
that has a bit of sweetness to it, the mustard. And then, this just finishes this off perfect.
So I'm shocking. I love my tomato sauce. So it'd be about now where I'd go to the kitchen and I get the tomato sauce out, which you'd be like, no, lemon. You need to squeeze lemon on it.
Exactly.
You do?
You've nailed it there. The traditional garnish with a traditional Austrian schnitzel is a wedge of lemon.
Oh, and here is the lemon.
You'd be surprised how good a little squeeze of lemon over a veal schnitzel goes. So I've made a...
So in chef speak, what does that do? Does it bring out any flavours or it just the combination of the two?
It's just the acid is good to counteract oil. So I suppose it helps break down the oil part. So the lemon in the acid in the lemon helps break down the oiliness from the frying.
So hold up that little bowl of goodness there, golden brown. How have you cooked them to perfection? Because I would have burnt the bejesus out of them. They're so paper thin.
No,
They're just
that's why they're
gorgeous.
so easy to cook, quick to cook. Just in your frying pan, the oil will start to go dark as the crumbs stay in there that fall off. Actually, and there is another dish that we make, which is a Hungarian dish. It's called pulhosi. I don't know if I'm saying that properly.
I won't ask you to say that again.
It translates to poor man's meat.
Okay.
So after the war and that, when, you had to save every penny.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get the flour and the egg wash and you mix that together and you make a batter out of that. And then you fry that.
Wow.
In the oil that you fried the schnitzels with.
Like a Yorkshire pudding or something.
Very similar, yeah.
Oh,
and
cool.
then what they do, if they wanted hot potatoes,
Yes.
they would then fry the potatoes in the oil that they fried the schnitzel in.
Mm-hmm.
And because of all the burnt breadcrumbs in there, these potatoes would be covered in black spots, and they'd call those dirty potatoes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And is that how, like, fast forward to where we are today, is that why dirty potatoes are called dirty potatoes? I mean, I know they're covered in dirt. But...
Well, yeah, that's so when we had schnitzel night, if my mum was cooking, she'd make the purshi and then the dirty potatoes in the same pan.
Oh, yum.
So it's like a one-pan meal as well as the salads.
Okay, so we're sitting down and having that for dinner, and you're so full, and you can't, you can't fit any more in your belly. How good would that be in a sanger the next day?
Oh,
The
yeah, take it
best.
to lunch. I think back in the day, I used to get sent to school, and some of the Italian kids probably got sent to school with cotelettes in rolls.
Yeah.
And the Aussies would look at us and, what are you having,
Oh, sucked in there
Yeah.
having Vegemite
But then
and cheese.
I'd look at the Aussies and they'd have the Fritz sandwich, and I'm like, oh, can I try that?
You can do trades. And what has Sip and Save chosen to be the matching
Well, actually, the
wine
perfect
today?
match for Viennese Schnitzel is a Grüner Veltliner, which is
Wow.
it's an unusual grape. This is an Nepenthe from the Adelaide Hills. We don't actually grow a lot of these grapes in Australia. This grape actually is very big in Hungary, Austria and Germany and
Right.
parts of Eastern Europe.
And together goes and just beautifully
Yeah.
brings out the flavours in
If
in
you,
both.
Google wine match with Viennese Schnitzel, it'll pop up straight away.
I had a little taste before, and it's a little bit Chardonnay type tasting with a little bit of an oily or buttery sort of
Yeah.
feel to it, which I guess when you're having the oil in the schnitty might go together.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I
but
mean, in
the
their tasting notes here, they
nectarine
haven't
and
got-
honey and
haven't
dried
got my
pineapple.
eyes on today.
Oh, that's all right. I've got my eyes. So it says pairs well with white meats and seafood.
Yeah.
So that sits
So
in the
white meat
meats,
is like a
doesn't it?
light meat veal. As well, look, this particular recipe, you can easily swap out the veal for pork or chicken and follow the same steps. And, yeah,
Delicious. Can you please leave that bowl there?
I will. I've
All
already
right.
fed
and I'm
the
gonna
boys.
hide it from Rowie.
I've already fed them, so
Oh.
they're happy. So these are all yours, Jade.
Speaking of feeding the boys, what are you feeding the crows? Because they seem to be doing not too bad.
Oh, yeah. So this week they had kangaroo. I made kangaroo steak because it's Indigenous round.
Oh, lovely.
And rice and beef rogan josh, broccolini, lots.
Oh, yum. How lucky are they to get Chris Jarmer come down and cook for them every week? Thank you so much.
No worries.
Love having you on the show. And, that looks just delicious. And that was Chris Jarmer there for the 588 Food and Wine Show. Thanks to Smeg and a big happy 8th birthday. I hope you have some great celebrations. Are you doing anything?
No, we just run a
Cooking.
few specials and cooking, yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks to Smeg, building or renovating your first choice should be visiting the Smeg showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with Smeg.
Next up, a mate dedication from Tim.
Andy, I'll never forget the day that you loaned me that slick tie so I could get into the members. Sorry, I lost it, champ.
Sounds like a legend. Ladbroker, together with Mates Mode. T's and C's apply and available on website. Gamble responsibly.
At Harvey Norman, get 60 months interest-free, no deposit finance from Latitude and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Shop furniture, bedding, computers and technology, TVs and entertainment and more. That's 60 months interest-free, no deposit, no interest from Latitude with 60 approximately equal monthly payments and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Finance only available if you have or are approved for a participating Latitude credit card. Minimum finance amount $1,000. See T's and C's. Interest applies for non-compliance. Fees and product exclusions apply. Now at Harvey Norman.
I'm Peter. I used to run half marathons and then I got COVID. I spent 9 days in hospital, 7 on oxygen. And my lasting memory is laying in a hospital bed thinking I was going to die. Calling my friends with the little breath that I had, wondering if it was goodbye. Even though I was young, healthy and double vaxxed, COVID nearly killed me.
Double vaxxed isn't fully vaxxed. Book your third COVID shot now. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Hi, Jess Trengove here, Olympic runner and proud Southside Suzuki ambassador. Being a mum and juggling a hectic training schedule means I have to rely on a great team, and that's why I trust Crystal and her team at Southside Suzuki. Southside Suzuki offers a huge selection of new and demonstrator models, including my pick, the bold and sporty Vitara. So for great deals and friendly service you can trust, visit Southside Suzuki today. Tell them Jess sent you.
Life's a beach, Southside Suzuki.
Since I discovered how simple pulled pork is to make, I now have so many new quick and easy dinner options, like pulled pork sliders, pulled pork tacos, and pulled pork pizza. Check out all the new dinner winners yourself at pork.com.au.
Phil Hoffman Travel invites you to explore the Northern Territory with Outback Spirit. Travel in style and comfort off the beaten track with knowledgeable guides that make every expedition an enlightening and unforgettable experience. Journey through the heart of Arnhem Land on an exclusive 13-day small group tour and immerse yourself in the world's oldest surviving culture, or join the 6-day Red Centre Spectacular from Alice Springs to Uluru. The Northern Territory is different in every sense. Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
Get the garden you want at Garden Grove. Start with Instant Lawn. Garden Grove are the instant lawn experts with a big range of well-priced, top-quality instant lawns for instant laying now. So for the lawn you want, see Garden Grove, Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove. Open 7 days. Phone 8251 1111 for delivery to your area.
Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, the garden that I want.
Jade Robran on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
Welcome back to the show. Afternoons with Jade Robran on this Friday, May 20, and it's a beautiful Friday afternoon as we head into the weekend. Coming up after 4 o'clock, it's Rowie Sports Show. But firstly, have you seen the ad for the new Celebrity Apprentice Australia? Yikes, talk about egos.
I don't give a damn who you are. Just don't piss me off.
This concrete jungle.
This is insane. Sell. I'm really pissed off. I don't like throwing anyone under the bus.
Is riddled with snakes.
There was no direction from Darren.
What the?
16 new celebs.
Wow!
There's a lot of big egos here.
I'm the director. Director calls the shots.
Sit back and watch the egos.
I can see why you're a D-grade actor, because that was piss poor.
Topple.
Bro, shut up. Oh my God.
New Celebrity Apprentice.
You're fired.
Coming soon to 9.
Well, my next guest is the Queen of the Pool. Bronte Campbell is a world record-breaking Olympic swimmer. She's won 3 Olympic gold medals and 8 Commonwealth gold medals. But to challenge herself just a little bit more, she signed up to battle it out in the boardroom. Bronte Campbell, welcome to Afternoons. I have to ask, after spending so many years in the pool, why sign up for Celebrity Apprentice? It looks savage.
I mean, Jade, that's a very good question. And there was moments I was definitely asking myself, what have I gotten myself in for? But I mean, it's a pretty great show. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about raising money for your charity and other people's charity, and so there is a lot of heart to it. And whenever anything got really difficult, it was like, no, this is a TV show, and yes, some of this it feels almost unreal, but then there's a potential for this to have a real impact on real people's lives. And then when you get to know your fellow cast members and they start telling you about their charities and what it means to them, you're like, okay, there's a reason that we're all getting up at 5 a.m.
And this one's super close to your heart. Can you tell us about your brother Hamish?
And my little brother Hamish, he's 4 years younger than me, born on my birthday, and he was born with cerebral palsy and requires quite a high level of care, and my mum's his full-time carer. So my charity that I'm supporting is Carers Australia, and they look after the unpaid carers in Australia. These are people who are caring for their family members, their friends, anyone that they love, and they're providing unpaid care. So then it's who cares for the carer? How do we support amazing things? So it's definitely very close to my heart.
And that is what a driving factor. But then, especially when you're sitting around with these massive egos, I just watched the clip and wowzers, were you expecting so many egos in one room?
I honestly don't know what I was expecting, but it's a definite mix of people. Probably one of the most challenging things is you're thrown together, and within 2 hours you're going from, okay, I've just met you, to we're doing a task together, and we've all got to work together and try to raise money by the end of the day. It's very, very intense. But it was part of the challenge. I actually really liked that. And apart from, there's a lot of stuff around celebrities having big egos. The most refreshing thing for me was meeting all these people who I'd sort of watched and been aware of, and I've lived with beautiful people, and that was like the majority of people. So it was a really nice thing to know that as well.
What have you taken out of it?
Oh, good question. So much. Just how much you can get done in a short time if you've got that deadline. Like, I am amazed at what we were able to achieve in very short time frames. That's something I'm definitely going to take going forward. It means I don't have to plan things, right?
Exactly.
I can just do everything last minute.
I like that. That's how I fly, by the seat of my pants. So you've been a swimmer your whole life. Did this perhaps give you a couple of ideas about what you might like to do post-swimming?
Yeah, and this was part of it for me as well, getting some experience in the big wide world outside of sport, outside of swimming. And I'm actually now working at EY, so I just started a few weeks ago. So jumping into more of the business world, but Celebrity Apprentice was my first taste of it. Can confirm EY is a little bit less chaotic.
So what is more stressful, sitting in the boardroom across from Lord Alan Sugar or the starting blocks about to swim for a gold medal race?
You know what? I would say definitely the starting blocks, and then Lord Sugar looks straight at you and he pretends like he's going to point at you, and you're like, oh, please, no, not me. So there's definitely some very stressful moments in the boardroom. I think the best thing about being a swimmer is, like, I'm totally in control of how my race plays out.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard handing over that control in the boardroom, and there's so many different variables. So that was definitely a challenge for me.
He comes across as super hard. I know he's very, very successful, and you got to have a bit of a hard exterior, to I guess be that successful in life. But inside, is he a bit like a soft marshmallow?
I'm not sure I got much beyond the hard exterior, to be honest, but that might have just been me. And he's actually quite funny. Like, when there's a little break, a little moment, he's quite quick with his. I would not really want to call them dad jokes. It seems like they're not really doing them justice, but very, very quick-witted, and it's funny when he's on and he's making his decisions. He can be incredibly to the point, which is also fine. But then I can sit back and relax and have a bit of a laugh as well.
Was there a castmate that you've walked away going, I had this thought of you, this preconceived idea about you going into this. You've actually surprised me, and you're an awesome person. Have you walked away thinking anything like that about any castmates?
Yeah, so much. It was more, I didn't know anything about a lot of my castmates. I never met any of them before. Walked away like, I remember watching Samantha Jade on X Factor and being like, oh, wow, she seems great. And then you meet her in person, like, wow, she is amazing. Just such a beautiful, kind person. And then so good at singing. Yeah. Like, just getting to hear her do that in person live, I was like, this is next level. So that was pretty special for me.
So Lord Sugar's, his motto is success is a decision. Do you have a motto?
Oh, good question.
Do you live by something that drives you?
I sort of have. I had this big poem on my wall, If by Rudyard Kipling, which is, I know, incredibly cliche, but that line from it, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters both the same, that is just like, that's what I aim for. And that's like not letting success get the best of you, still remaining true to yourself, but also not letting failure define you. And that's what that means for me, and I try and live my life by that.
Love that. Now, normally you would be in Adelaide right now at the Nationals, but you're not. Is that a bit of a weird...
It is incredibly weird not to be at the national trials. It's amazing watching them from afar in Adelaide, but it's the first time since I was 12 years old that I haven't gone to trials. It's very weird watching on, but I'm so proud of the team. They're doing so incredibly well. All these young guys coming through. Zach Cook broke the world record last night. Yeah. It's just incredible, but weird not being part of it.
You are jumping back in the pool, aren't you?
The aim is to get back in and just have this this year off, I really needed a break, and the idea would be to look towards Paris and take the rest of this year off, stay fit, and jump back in the pool and work towards it. And watching the national champs in Adelaide, which you can watch on Amazon Prime, watching them really sparks the fire for me to still be back there.
Oh, that's good news. Bronte Campbell, thank you so much. And you can catch Bronte on the all-new Celebrity Apprentice Australia on Channel 9 and 9 Now. Thank you, Bronte.
Thank you, Jade.
This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. The countdown is on to tomorrow's election. The Prime Minister and Labor leader are blitzing marginal seats across the country, making a last-minute pitch to voters. Actor Craig McLachlan has been ordered to pay costs after dropping his defamation case against 2 media organisations. The number of new COVID cases in SA has dropped below 4,000 again, but 4 more people have died, and the AFL Grand Final will remain a daytime event for its return to the MCG. Sunny this afternoon, 18. Currently it's 16 degrees. More news at 4 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
Don't miss FIVEAA's coverage of the 2022 federal election tomorrow night.
We need a future made in Australia.
Join Matthew Pantella straight after the footy as the numbers roll in.
The election is in the hands of the Australian people.
Who will triumph as Australia decides? We'll keep you up to date with the very latest throughout the night.
I want to go one step further.
Election 2022, tomorrow night from 10, straight after the Crows and St Kilda on Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Still got your eye on the Neo Evo? Yep, I've been raking it in recently, so I'll get there soon. Oh yeah, big flex. Yep, I found the ultimate side gig. I work when I want, play whatever music I want, and all I need is my van and smartphone. You're a DJ now? Nah, I'm an Amazon Flex delivery partner. I can pick up a block of 8 hours, deliver packages, and get paid weekly. Sign me up. DIY, mate, at flex.amazon.com.au/vans.
G'day, Jared here. Let me tell you, nothing is going to stop the team at Wavell Mitsubishi from giving you incredible end of financial year deals. Yes, the new showroom on Goodwood Road is going through an amazing rebuild, but there's no way that's getting between you and a new Mitsubishi. So, enter via Goodwood Road and choose from the entire range on offer today. It's game on for end of financial year deals at Wavell Mitsubishi, opposite the showground, driven by Australian Motors, LVD 80.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Recently, we've achieved suburb record prices in Toorak Gardens, Colonel Art Gardens and Woodville Park. That's industry-leading results right across Adelaide. Could your home be the next record breaker? Go to toop.com.au.
For a limited time at Lordman and Pank Optometrists, Medibank members get 25% off lenses and lens extras when purchased with a frame. Hurry, this exclusive offer must end May 22. T's and C's apply. See staff for details. Lordman and Pank, we care for eyes.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. When it comes to tyres and wheels, Bob Jane T-Marts looks after you in more ways than one. Buy 3, get 1 free, and up to $100 instant cashback on a great selection of top tyre brands including Bridgestone, Yokohama, Dunlop, Michelin, Goodyear and J-Trax. Buy 4 Monster wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Oztrack camper trailer, plus over 2Ks of extras from HEMA and GME. We'll look after you.
T's and C's apply. SA permit number T22367.
Hi, it's Adam Liao. Australian Made Week kicks off on the 6th of June, and it's time to celebrate and support our local makers and growers all around the country. Buying authentic Aussie products with the Australian Made logo helps boost our economy, supports local business, and creates jobs right across Australia. So, look for the famous green and gold logo and buy something genuinely Aussie this Australian Made Week. Because Australian Made makes Australia.
How do you know if the milk you're buying is local? Easy. Just look for 3 words. FIVEAA Milk Company. If the bottle you pick up has those 3 words on it, FIVEAA Milk Company, it's guaranteed to be local. It's guaranteed to be fresh too. And the big plus, you're supporting SA dairy farmers, and for that, we're forever grateful. 3 words. FIVEAA Milk Company. South Australian and proud of it.
$13.95. Adelaide's FIVEAA. This is Jade Robran.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the show. It is 3:36 on this Friday afternoon. We'll talk to Rowie in a moment and also Lauren de Cesare from What's On. She'll tell us what's on from Hello SA. Well, it is election eve. We go to the polls tomorrow. 1 in 3 of us have already cast our vote. We're watching the screens as they come in right now. We've seen ScoMo busily out and about, shaking hands. Albanese has touched down in Tasmania. He's apparently been to 3 states today. I wanted to ask you, have you received any of those spam text messages falsely claiming that Australia is transferring all its hospital health to the World Health Organisation? To who? Now, they're authorised by Craig Kelly, the former Liberal MP and is now leader of the United Australia Party, which is funded by, as we know, billionaire Clive Palmer. But they are false. And, I mean, this SMS has been doing the rounds and it's apparently not breaching any electoral rules because it clearly states, apparently, that they're authorised by Kelly, but it's not right, and it's sent a lot of bit of a scare through a lot of people out there. This is Scott Morrison talking about it this morning.
There has been this thing going on about some WHO treaty. I hear the United Australia Party's been going on about it. It's complete rubbish. There is no treaty that we're signing up to. I would never do that. I've rejected United Nations treaties that have tried to incur on Australia's sovereignty on immigration before, and I certainly wouldn't allow it in terms of how public health is run in this country. But, you know what happens before an election? People put all sorts of rubbish out there to try and confuse people. Just want to be very clear. Australia would never sign up to such a treaty under my government, and they can be very confident about that. When they see those things, they can just ignore them because they're rubbish.
There you have it. Addressing that, but did you get one of the scams? I haven't been lucky to get many of those political SMSs in the last few weeks. Hopefully, my little Telstra fairies that block all of those are at work because they shouldn't be. They should just not be allowed. Let's talk to Deborah. Hi, Deborah. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you, Jade?
Good.
I did a pre-poll vote on Tuesday.
Yes.
And I voted for the Senate below the line.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to number 10, I had to do 11 and 12. I thought, shit, who am I going to vote for to fill it in?
Yes.
Would you? I think I voted for the dog party. I was so desperate.
Oh, there's the dog party, the marijuana party, the love party.
So I wasn't going to vote for the coalition because I heard Scott Morrison about 10 years ago when the Parliament was debating up raising the age pension.
Mm-hmm.
He said his solution was for pensioners that own their own house should sell that and live off that and not get a pension. Now, I read in the Advertiser about 22 years ago an article for a pensioner to live equivalent to the age pension back then when there was interest rates and not as much fraud. You had to have 800,000 invested. Now, most pensioners, I mean, my parents' generation, my parents have passed away, but they're the ones that are in the aged care facilities getting fed on $1.65 per meal type of thing. And I thought, how dare he treat the people who set Australia up to be the wonderful country it became through hard work, honesty, integrity and service. How dare he treat them with such low attitude?
That's interesting, Deborah, and I completely respect what you say there. And this is a comment that was made several years ago, and it's still forming your vote today.
Well, he has changed it. He did change it. Instead of selling the house, which, I mean, if it came in now with no interest rates, you'd have to live on what you got for the house, which wouldn't last very long. With also no affordable rental, because I had a lad from Toop and Toop say only about 2 weeks ago that any place that comes up for rent between $5.50 and $7.50 gets snapped up immediately.
Yeah.
How can a pensioner getting maybe 400? Because most pensioners that have old houses, say $400,000 for a house, how could they live off that with no interest rates? And have to pay utilities and rental, if they can get rental, that is, that's the problem. Anyway, Morrison then changed it to a reverse mortgage. Well, I haven't had any contact with reverse mortgages, but that's dealing with a bank, isn't it? And then I got an email from one of those downsizing places that I log on to quite often, only about a week ago, saying that he's changed it to, you sell your house, you have to put money into superannuation, which, I mean, there's lots of fees in superannuation, aren't there? And pensioners are the ones that haven't had any superannuation. That's why they need the pension at that age. And of course, my generation, I'm talking about my parents' generation, my generation followed suit with the hard work because that's what we grew up with. But I didn't have any superannuation to live on, so I thought I'd work for the pension.
Deborah, thanks so much for calling in. I'm going to send you back to Tammy, and we are going to send you a Wallace Cinema Pass. You can catch this week a movie at Mitcham, Mount Barker or Noarlunga, and you can jump online at wallace.com.au. This weekend, it's a huge weekend in the Riverland, and it will be a very emotional one, but also a celebration of a fantastic man who was not only a great footballer, but an instrumental man off the field as well. Of course, we're talking about the tribute match for the late and great Russell Ebert, and joining me on the line is Les Lange, who is the president at the Loxton Football Club. Les, thanks so much for joining the program. Welcome.
It's my pleasure, Tammy, and what a great introduction to the great man as well. You hit the nail on the head. It's not just what he did on the footy field, it's what he's done off the footy field. And it's an absolute honour for the Loxton Football Club to be hosting such a prestigious match as this one is.
Talk to us about the day. What can we expect?
Well, obviously West versus Port. In the early games, we have the old Super Dogs, the Riverland Super Dogs are playing, and the Peninsula Magpies, which is sort of an affiliation with Port Adelaide as well, ironically. And that starts off early. Also, prior to that, Loxton A grade will play against Waikerie. Now, Russell was a junior at Loxton right through all his junior career, moved in the bank to Waikerie, and then played a good 3/4 of a season with Waikerie. Then Port Adelaide enticed him to go to Adelaide, and that's where he stayed ever since.
Can you tell us a bit about his memories at Loxton? Not his memories, but the memories of the Loxton community have of him, and I guess just the role he played in the community.
Because Russell left at about age of 17, 16 or 17, as a junior, I can hear stories that, he was a very handy young footballer.
Yeah.
But, since prior to his football, he does the Novita run, the boat run, right through the riverbanks, often visiting Big Brother Bill and other family members up here as well on a regular basis. And then daughter Tammy married a local lad, Craig Koenig, and so we got to see Russell quite regularly, Russell and Di quite more regularly, and then when Tammy and Craig had children, it was even becoming more regular. I know because I've got brothers and sisters that went to school with him, and always a very good athlete and a very strong athlete at a very young age, a very powerful swimmer too.
All-rounder.
And I think too, Tammy, I think it was the way he played the game.
It's Jade. Tammy's my
Jade.
producer.
Sorry, Jade.
That's all right.
Sorry, Jade. Jade. So I think it's the way he played the game, Jade. So he was very, very, very well recognised. And the Ebert family is within the actual Loxton Football Club. Brother Bill's a life member, and I think he's coming up to his 70th year in the footy club. So, the Ebert family's been around the town for a long, long time.
Yeah, beautiful family. Are you expecting hundreds, thousands?
I think there's up to just over 3,500 tickets sold.
Wow.
And that's when you consider that's adults. You could put another 1,500 to 2,000 under 18s on top of that. So we're expecting a fairly healthy crowd, and about 20 to 22 degrees. So it'll be a perfect day for it. So let's hope, fingers crossed, the Almighty upstairs, just holds off and just lets it be a really lovely day, and we should get a very good crowd. As you know, Jade, the Riverland is a very, very sporty area.
Yes, indeed.
So I would expect a lot of Port Adelaide fans up here, on top of being the West Adelaide region as well. So I would expect a very good crowd. I know I've got a nephew coming from Melbourne. He's still on his only way over here now for it. So there's people coming from far and wide to actually see the game.
See, I've got cousins in Loxton and also from Waikerie. I'm going to have to sit on the fence with this one.
Yes.
It's going to be a cracker.
Talk about the Lehmans, Di was a Lehman, and Troy played for Collingwood and then Brisbane Lions or Brisbane Bears back in the day. So, there's an affiliation there as well. So, you have to sit right on the fence.
Absolutely, I will. Les Langley, thank you, President of the Loxton Football Club. And you can head down to Loxton. Tickets are still available. It is actually the round 7 of the SNFL. So West Adelaide v Port Adelaide will be playing. And of course, as we said, Loxton and also v Waikerie. The black and white team will be on the oval as well. It'll be absolutely fantastic. A very, very special day, and hopefully Russell Ebert will be watching from the heavens above. We're going to take a short break. Coming up afterwards, What's On? With Hello SA, and also we'll touch base with Rowie to find out what's happening in the world of sport.
Keep up to date with state politics with Adelaide's own King of Spin,
Matthew Abraham.
Thursday mornings from 7:30 with David and Will. Thanks to your local Mitre 10. Friendly service, expert advice, quality brands at great prices.
That's mighty helpful.
Mitre 10.
Great news from Dave Benson Caravans. They have just secured the brand new range of Cedar Caravans. Cedar Caravans are 100% Australian made and offer premium quality couple vans, bunk vans and off-road vans. And the best part? They are all ready for delivery right now. Yep, no waiting. So get your caravan sooner and start your holiday journey in a new 100% Aussie-made Cedar Caravan. Exclusive to Dave Benson Caravans, where your adventure begins. 64 Grand Junction Road, Kilburn.
You're off then?
Yes, dear.
The backyard needs a good trim with the ride-on mower.
Totally. The kids will be done shortly, so they need picking up from the oval.
Good plan. Why are you giving me the car keys?
You can't walk to the oval, silly. Oh, don't worry, the backyard will look fantastic by the time you get back. Mwah.
Okay, dear. But I get the ride-on next time?
We'll see. Probably not.
Stanford Mowers for ride-ons. 590 Main North Road, Jeps Cross. stanfordmowers.com.au.
What's for dinner? Coles have over 100 easy recipes for you to try. All made with 5 ingredients in 30 minutes or less. Head to coles.com.au right now to find out what's for dinner. That's value the Australian way at Coles.
This is RB Day with more tales from the bedroom thanks to Supercraft Bedding. Supercraft Bedding has been recycling before it was on trend. Did you know that we'll pick up your old mattress when we deliver your new one and have the old one recycled? The other day, Tim picked up a 45-year-old mattress that was made by us. Sure, it had seen better days, but what an innings. This is RB Day for Supercraft Bedding, building better beds at 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Electricity bill!
Bills shouldn't be scary. EcoVantage have supplied energy efficiency in homes for over 15 years. They can install hot water systems that use up to 80% less electricity than regular hot water systems. Help the environment while you save hundreds. And thanks to federal and SA government incentives, you could get your energy efficient hot water system supplied and installed for as little as no cost to you. Stop scary hot water bills with ecovantage.com.au.
Breaking news at Beaumont's. As well as Australia's biggest range of tiles, Beaumont's now has a range of quality hybrid flooring. Get stunning hybrid timber look or make an impression with magnificent hybrid stone look. With our new quality flooring options, you'll be happy you chose Beaumont's.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. At Lynn Andrews Real Estate, we've seen a lot of change in the property market over the last 50 years, but one thing remains constant: our passion to help people invest in the future. To build strong property portfolios in commercial and residential real estate. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share with you. We are here to help. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
Jade Robran on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
Do you or your kids play footy? You could win your team $2,000 worth of cash and some Sharon footies. Simply head to 5AA.com.au to enter. All thanks to Hyundai Staria Load, the only van with ANCAP 5-star and platinum safety ratings, and also $13.95 Adelaide's 5AA. I have got a $50 giveaway thanks to Sip and Save. They have the perfect partner for every dish. If you give us a buzz on 8223 0055, I reckon the fourth caller through, that would be terrific. Also, 5AA, just a little important thing that's happening tomorrow, the federal election. Well, on 5AA, the federal election coverage will be on FIVEAA tomorrow night, and it is your destination for South Australia's best coverage of the 2022 federal election. Matthew Pantelis will have regular updates during our call of the AFL match between the Crows and the Saints, followed by a comprehensive wrap-up of all the winners and losers from 10 p.m. So the 2022 federal election, you will hear it first on 5AA. And just an update from our interview on the with the Australian Electoral Commission. They have updated its website to allow people who tested positive to COVID-19 after 6 p.m. last Friday to vote over the phone. The change was announced this afternoon, and so if you have got COVID-19 after 6 p.m. last Friday, you can vote via the phone. Rowie joins us now to let us know what's happening on his show. Good afternoon.
Hello, Jade. It's our Friday footy show thanks to Ros Des Moines. We've got Bix after 5 and Marco Bello from the Crows. They can win that tomorrow, I think, versus St Kilda. Port's Tyson Goldsack, nickname Moneybags. He will join us. And Charlie Dixon after 5:30. I love him coming in at 5:30 for McDonald's. His nickname is Big Dixon.
Okay.
Love your calls and interactions, and we will see you at 4.
Have a good weekend. That was a boom boom ching. Hello SA, it is on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Channel 9, and joining us is Cesare. You have got so much to talk about this weekend, but I just really want to ask you about the train trip that you have been on. I've seen the advertisements. I saw all your Instas when you were on it. Is it just so super duper fun?
It is, and you know what, people listening, you may have thought about doing a train adventure. You know, they've got the GAN, the Great Southern. Well, we're on the Indian Pacific. We're going Adelaide to Perth, and it is the most amazing experience. Hayley and I have been on a few. We call ourselves, you know, we love our trains, so we've done it a few times. The service, the staff, and you know what, whether you're going by yourself or as a couple or with a girlfriend or whatever you're doing, you will make friends. We met lots of people travelling by themselves, and by the end of the journey, they'd made friends. It was so lovely.
Friends for life, I love it. Well, we'll talk about a little bit more of that in a moment, but what's happening around town?
There is a lot happening this weekend. It's Chardonnay May from today until the 29th of May. Cellar doors across the hills will be highlighting their best Chardonnay, from tastings to long lunches to shardy parties. There's a lot happening in the Adelaide Hills. Visit adelaidehillswine.com.au for all the events. There's also a lot of musicals coming to town, Jade. Are you going to a few of these?
I am. 6.
Same. On Sunday, 6 the musical. Now, we got to have a little sneak peek. I went to Canberra and filmed with the girls before the show has hit Adelaide.
They look like a bit of fun.
They are so fun. It's telling the story of King Henry and his 6 wives, and it's full-on amazing music. It's starting, I'm going on Sunday night. You going?
Well, I'm not, but I am going to another one.
Oh, okay. Well, enjoy. We also have Rella the Musical is starting next week at the Dunstan Playhouse. And we also have Frozen. Frozen the Musical is coming to town.
I bet you are super excited.
Let it go. Is it too... Can I take Sophia? She's 11 months.
No, well, I feel like she's like, you're her +1. I feel like it's more about you going to see Frozen. You're more excited.
I just want to take my daughter to Frozen. It's like one of those bucket list things to do as a mum, I think. So Frozen is coming. It's going to be a great weekend, of course, voting tomorrow as well. You've been talking about this all afternoon.
We've been talking about it all afternoon. I'm very excited about the sausage, where to buy the best sausage. And you just told me you're a little bit of a political head.
I love politics. Do you know what? I've got an event tomorrow night, and it really saddens me that I can't be watching the election in real time. And a lot of people don't think that. They see us drinking wine and eating cheese boards and having fun. I actually like politics. I did it at uni. So you may be speaking to the next politician of one of the parties.
Watch
one
this
day.
Space.
One day.
Thank you, lovely lady. And Hello SA. It is on this Sunday, May 22 at 5:30 p.m. on Channel 9 and also 9 Now.
Can I also just say, Jade, really quickly, we're on the Indian Pacific and we're also giving you the chance to win 2 tickets in Gold Class. 2 tickets. You just have to watch the show 5:30 on Sunday on Channel 9 and you could be winning your very own adventure from Adelaide to Perth.
Brilliant. Oh,
Boom.
That's a great competition.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Now, you know how we were just talking before about those political SMSs? Isabel, this is freaky. Hi, Jade. During the last call, when you mentioned the AUP SMS messages. One came through to me exactly 7 minutes ago. My first one, marked urgent. How freaky is that? Isabel, that is freaky, and I'm sorry I put that out into the universe, didn't I? Well, good luck, everybody. It is election eve. I hope your team wins, whether that is sport or politics. I have pinched that line from someone that was on the show this week, but it is a good one. That is the end of the show. Have a fantastic weekend, and I can't wait to talk to you again on Monday. Be safe, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Qantas Business Rewards is made for businesses like yours. And as your business takes to the skies, we've made the flying benefits even better. Enjoy bigger flight savings, greater discounts on Qantas Club, and a new flyer bonus every time you or your team fly for work. That's on top of the Qantas points your business earns, which can be used on flights, upgrades,